Hi guys, in today's video we discuss a man who unalived his pregnant wife, and his two young daughters, and then turned around and blamed it on a Jezebel. We take a deep dive into the details of Mr. Chris Watts. Chris Watts' case shocked the U.S. and the world because of the seemingly perfect image he and his family projected on social media. Chris Watts was married to Shanann Watts, and together they had two young daughters, Bella and Celeste. Shanann was also 15 weeks pregnant with a son whom they planned to name Rico. The family lived in Frederick, Colorado. Outwardly, the Watts family seemed happy. Shanann often posted loving photos of her and her husband and her children and the family on Facebook, but behind the scenes, the marriage was under a strain, especially because Chris began an affair with a coworker named Nicole Kessinger. Chris strangled Shanann in their bed after an argument allegedly about his affair and wanting a separation. He then loaded her body into his truck, along with his two daughters, who were still alive at the time. He drove them to an oil field owned by his employer. There, he smothered both Bella and Celeste and dumped their bodies in oil tanks while burying Shannon's body in a grave nearby. Initially, Chris played the role of a concerned husband and father. He did interviews pleading for their return, but his behavior seemed off to many in the community. A friend of Shannon's helped raise the alarm when she didn't show up for a doctor's appointment. Remember, Shanann was pregnant. After failing a polygraph test and being confronted with evidence, Chris confessed to the murders. He first claimed Shanann killed the girls and he killed her in retaliation, but he then later admitted to murdering them all. Chris Watts pleaded guilty in November 2018 to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 5 life sentences without parole, 3 consecutive, 2 concurrent, 48 years of unlawful termination of a pregnancy, 36 years for tampering with the bodies. He is currently in prison at Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin for his own safety. He was removed from Colorado due to the threats from other inmates. In regards to the aftermath of this case, Chris he was removed from Colorado into another prison because other inmates were threatening to end his life. So they had to move him and transport him to another prison. Nicole, his mistress, she has changed her whole identity and went into hiding after this whole entire case. This case led to a flood of online documentaries and conspiracy theories, and Chris continues to write letters to himself in prison describing the visions and spiritual experiences he was having after unaliving his wife and 2 kids. This is a very crazy and very disturbing case because I don't think any man who is a man of God, like he said he was, would actually kill their wife. He strangled his pregnant wife at that. Strangled your pregnant wife. You turned around and told your daughters that their mother was sleeping, took your dead wife, dumped her body in a nearby grave, and then you took your 2 daughters and you smothered them to death, and then you dumped their bodies in an oil tank. Oh my goodness. My prayers and my heart goes out to the mother and those 2 daughters who had to witness their father in their last moments. And just bring awareness to people out there, make sure that you are being safe and watching who is around you and your kids, because even those that love us could turn around and mistreat us at the same time. Chris Watts is a very disturbing, horrible person because I don't think any husband would want to do that to their wife. That's really all I have to say about this case. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure that you check out our other videos. We have a teenager who raped and beat a 91-year-old woman. We have Young Thug's prosecutors. The prosecutors of that's going against Young Thug have filed charges to revoke his probation, and the judge has denied that. Please check out all of our new recent videos, and thank you guys for watching.